Welcome back, Truth Seeker. I want to send a thank you to D26, along with the other people who asked me to look more into this King of the Jews book released January 1st, 1979, originally authored by a Leslie Epstein, uh, dark comedy about the character I.C. Trump Ullman. And again, if you're awake, the world is a dark comedy. Every day, the headlines are making fun of the goy toys, if you will. And, people like myself have been trying to educate the masses for a long time about what's really going on in this world. Where if you have a brain that actually works and you're not under the spell or the programming or whatever it is that keeps the masses from seeing what they should see that's right in front of their face every day, uh, again, my sentence was so long I forgot even the exactly what I was trying to say. But we do. We live in a dark comedy, and every day we are made fun of through the news with their stories that are meant to mock us. Again, you don't even necessarily need the layer of Kabbalistic understanding to see it, but understanding this layer really shows you how perfectly planned out all of this stuff is. And we're going to look at how the recent death of this author, Leslie Epstein, is perfectly synced with the attack on Iran by the U.S. and Israel. And remember, at the end of Trump's first term in office, there were headlines emerging out of Israel where some people thought he was the Jewish Messiah. So, again, here we have King of the Jews about I.C. Trump Ullman. All right. This book released while Trump was 32 years old, approaching age 33. Trump turned 33 in 1979. Remember, him, George W. Bush, and Clinton were all born in 1946, right after World War II, a year before the establishment of the CIA. And think about that. These men have, by the time Trump's done, they will have occupied 24 years of office, assuming Trump finishes his term. The better part of recent history. All of these guys born in that same very crucial moment in history. And don't forget, George W. Bush was literally born on the day that Governor Dewey of New York put together the commission to build the World Trade Center. Again, we've been explaining from 1,000 different angles how obvious it is that what we're living out now was planned out decades ago. And there's been a lot of clues out there about Trump being this chosen puppet for the position he now occupies, the presidency. Those books from the Ingersoll Lockwood books about Baron Trump, or I believe it is Baron Trump, the time traveler, just like how Biff Tannen in Back to the Future's character is based on Donald Trump. But anyway, look at this. From Trump's 32nd birthday to the release of this book about I.C. Trump Ullman on January 1st, 1979, 201 days. And again, if you're new here, I've been educating about this 201 number for a long time. My last book goes into great detail on what 201 is all about. If you were here July 14th, 2022, we explained why Trump's ex-wife fell down the stairs and died exactly 60 weeks after the Jesuits' first ever Ignatian year, which began and ran longer than a typical calendar year, and then why she was buried on July 20th, the 201st day of the year. Remember, the day that she died, exactly 60 weeks into the first Ignatian year, was the day that Trump said he'd run in the 60th U.S. presidential election. And, of course, Donald Trump equals 60. We just saw what they did with Pam Bondi. She got fired exactly 60 weeks 60 weeks after taking office on the nose at age 60. And there's been a million of these 60 rituals, including Trump serving French fries on Kamala's 60th birthday. Learn Gematria. French fries equals 60 like Donald Trump. But yeah, if you're new here, these are the 4 base ciphers of the English language that you see on the screen for Leslie Epstein. And all 4 of those numbers are super specific. Again, the ciphers are just the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z. The 26 letters, 26. The alphabetic order with numerology applied to each letter. So each letter is compressed to a single digit. So for example, Z, it's not 26 anymore. It's 2 plus 6 is 8. Y is 2 plus 5 is 7 because it's the 25th letter. X, the 24th letter, is 2 plus 4 is 6. Then you have the reverse alphabetic order. Z is 1 back to A is 26. And the reverse alphabetic order with numerology applied. Words like Illuminati equate to 150. Remember, Trump's in the Illuminati card game. More predictive programming. With regards to, the Jews, notice how state of Israel is 150 and 201. The war in Israel began October 7th, 2023, while Israel was 75 years old. Keep in mind, we had that year marked down with a big X on it a decade in advance because there's a New York Times headline from October 6, 1940, a date with 75 numerology, that says New World Order pledged to Jews. Look it up, October 6, 1940, New York Times, the same publication that helped this book become a bestseller back in 1979. But yeah, we said, I bet anything when Israel turns 75, that's when that, the trail to that third world war will begin that Albert Pike wrote about in his letter. And of course, Netanyahu came back on Albert Pike's birthday, December 29, 2022. And of course, I did put out a video that day explaining why we should look for a war to begin in Israel very close to Yale's 322nd birthday. That was October 9th, 2023. Again, the war starts October 7th. Netanyahu declares war October 8th. Yale turns 322 October 9th. And you know where Leslie Epstein went to school? He went to school at Yale. It's funny how so many things just go back to Yale, just like how all of this stuff really went into motion when George W. Bush was president, who also went to Yale. And remember, 9/11 happened 11 years to the day of his father's speech about the New World Order. He also went to Yale. If you've never been to the Yale campus, you should go there. It's older than the country. You feel like you're at a dark Gothic castle. And anyway, all of these numbers up here are super significant. And there's more that could be said about all of them. But let's just focus on the 201. Again, that is the number of the Jesuits. That is the number of the Illuminati. Order of Illuminati equals 201. And remember, the Illuminati was founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt, who died in history 201 days after the establishment anniversary of the Illuminati. It goes with David Ben-Gurion dying 201 days after the anniversary of the establishment of Israel. But yeah, just imagine this being a coincidence. And see, the thing that's so annoying about this knowledge is, if you made anybody sit down and look at the body of work we've put out with the ritualism around this number, again, for people who weren't here, we told you Joe Biden was going to be the president more than a year before he was the president because he sacrificed Beau Biden at age 46, 201 days from the sitting Pope's birthday. That was Pope Francis, the first Jesuit Pope, the first to live in Suite 201 at the Vatican, whose birth name equaled 201. But we showed how that election that Biden won was exactly 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday, and Catholic equals 46. Again, we were telling you way before Trump even sacrificed his ex-wife, exactly 60 weeks into the first Jesuit nation year, that they were going to reinstall him in 2024. We called that out 4 years before it happened. But then he buries her on the 201st day of the year. And in addition to those two major examples, because don't forget Inauguration Day is the 201st day of the nation's age, which we'll talk more about because it's also Epstein's birthday, the Jeffrey Epstein character that we've told you for all these years is nothing but a made-up media story, distraction, which, again, if you still don't think that's true, I mean, how much more evidence do you need that all of this stuff is just one big script, one big contrived bullshit to make your head spin off your shoulders? Again, you can tell that it's all fake news, and we've been using that term since way before Trump did. You can tell that it's all fake news because it's all contrived by this Kabbalistic code that was written out long ago, and it's all just about demoralizing people and distracting people and dividing people and confusing people and making people just want to give up. And some people, I think, they see my work and they do that too, but that's not the point here. The point is to wake up to the agendas that are unfolding and stop getting played by them and stop supporting and participating in the shit they put out there, like getting invested in their needless wars, their fake rigged elections, their Cooties 19 scamdemics, all these things. If people would wake up to what's actually going on, and don't forget that whole thing was simulated with Event 201 on the same day the military world games begun in Wuhan, China. But if people would wake up to this, just imagine everybody knew what was going on. None of this would work anymore. Anyway, yeah, literally the book came out 201 days. I see Trump, old man. 201 days after this goon's birthday, author named 201 factors right in with what's going on right now. And do you remember when Trump was selling the $60 Bibles on the campaign trail? I actually have a capital I in there. Just in case somebody thinks that's a L or something. The Holy Bible, 60 and 201. And that is the playbook. Again, 15th century Bibles numbered for the first time, 16th century English alphabet standardized, and the calendar implemented. All done by the Jesuits, all done by the church. And by the way, a lot of the Protestant Bibles are out there. Jesuit priests have their hands on those too. Just like if you go in any Lutheran church today, it says IHS, which is the Jesuit acronym for Jesus Hominum Salvator. Anyway, with regards to the author's name being Epstein, we've talked about this many times. Epstein's birthday is January 20th, which can be written 20/1 like 201. And when you measure from the birthday of the nation to January 20th, it's the 201st day of the nation's age. And again, the Jesuits moved the capital to Washington, D.C. Georgetown established a couple months before George Washington's inaugurated as the first president. And then they eventually moved inauguration day to January 20th. And let me just pull this story up too. The Epstein associate that was found dead at address 201. Let me see if I can pull this up. Stephen Hoffenberg found dead at 201 Mount Pleasant Street in Derby, Connecticut. 201 Mount Pleasant Street equals Order of Illuminati, which equals 201 and 258, just like William Henry Gates. And remember when his dad died on the 258th day of the year and how he helped simulate Event 201 that was synced with his then wife, Melinda Gates, whose middle name is French, like the Jesuits are from France, and her birthday is the same day as the Jesuit order, August 15th. Yeah, I mean, this number is everywhere. This number is everywhere once you recognize it. And that's the thing. I mean, imagine you don't know about any of this. None of this, all of this goes unnoticed. All of this goes unnoticed if you don't know about this little Kabbalistic ABC 123 code. By the way, how old was Epstein when this book came out? He was 25, about to turn 26. It came out 19 days before his 26th birthday. And keep in mind the word chaos, 19 and 26. Here we are in 2026. Chaos is broken out in the world by the code. But yeah, he was 25. The book came out 47 years before 2026. It came out the year of the Iranian Revolution. But Trump has that 2547 connection. How about the name I.C. Trumpelman from the story? 145, like Catholic and David Ben-Gurion, going with the 145 more chapters in the Catholic Old Testament, and Israel's birthday being 14/5. I.C. Trumpelman, 55, just like Satan, as in the synagogue of Satan, as in Trump runs on Mega, the highest degree of the Church of Satan. And I get tired of people going, that's just a coincidence. It's not the same Mega. Yeah, it is. It's the exact same Mega. Again, just go back and look. When Obama was president, Barack means lightning, like Satan comes to earth in a bolt of lightning. When Obama was president, he invited Trump to the White House Correspondents' Dinner on the Church of Satan's 45th birthday, which every year is 45 days before Trump's birthday, April 30th. And what did Obama say at that White House Correspondents' Dinner? He told two jokes about Trump. One was that he would become the 45th president, and the other was that Obama really was from Africa. And he used the Lion King. He said he was Simba from the Lion King. Look it up if you haven't seen it. Simba 44. Like he was number 44. And the Lion King 61, like the year Obama was born. Lion King is also 44. There's a reason they chose that movie and that character for the joke with Trump in attendance. But yeah, I see Trumpelman 179. That's the 41st prime. Remember that, because we're going to get to how this man died exactly 41 weeks before the attack on Iran by the U.S. and Israel. And then the 71, that's big Catholic number. Catholic equals 145 and 71. Again, the Society of Jesus equals 71. Temple equals 71. We just attacked Iran on the 8th anniversary of the temple coin coming out with Trump's head on it to raise funds to build the third temple, when 8's the third composite number. Again, the 8th anniversary of the temple coin coming out. For even more jokes, look at what the author's middle name is. Leslie Epstein, who wrote King of the Jews, his middle name is Donald. And his birthday is May 4th, 5-4. That should remind you about those damn Jesuits. He died May 18th, just like Roger Ailes, who got Trump to run for president. Remember, May 18th is the 138th day of the year, and it can be written 18/5. Donald Trump 138, Donald John Trump 185. It's a very Trumpish date, May 18th. It seems like there's a big ritual every year for Trump on May 18th. We'll see what they got for us this year. But yeah, he was born into an American Jewish family in Los Angeles and grew up in Hollywood. Oh, what do you know? His father, Philip, and Uncle Julius were both noted screenwriters. Together, they won the Academy Award for the celebrated 1942 film Casablanca. And of course, Casablanca has to do with World War II and the Nazis. 42, the year that the U.S. first deployed troops to World War II. In case you forgot the death of Roger Ailes, again, they say he was the guy who got Trump to run for president. He died on May 18th, 2017, shortly after Trump took office the first time. That was Trump's 119th day of being in office. Remember, they called the election for him on November 9th. This time around in 2025, he took office with the 119th Congress. Don't forget that tarot cards equals 119, and the top cards are the Trump cards. And don't forget there's 78 cards in the deck, like Trump took office at age 78. But yeah, again, May 18th, 138th day of the year, Donald Trump 138 and 185. So Roger Ailes was born on the date with 79 numerology. Go figure. Okay, so yeah, that was then. And now this author who wrote this book with this obvious predictive programming has died on the same day, 8 years to the day later. And you know what's interesting? When Ailes died, this man was 79 years old. That's interesting. This man was 79 because he died at 87. Remember, the Catholic Church equals 87. Superior General equals 87. Speaking of the Superior General, this guy died 187 days after the Superior General's birthday. Homicide Code, Society of Jesus. Look at this. November 12th, 2024 to May 18th, 2025. 187 days. Boom. Society of Jesus. 187, 79. Like this book came out in 79. Dead at 87. Superior General 87. All right. From the day that he died to the joint strike on Iran, exactly 41 weeks. Zionist 41, USA 41. The Jesuit suppression lasted 41 years. The character in the book, his name equals 179, the 41st prime. And, this Temple Israel shooting, covered a lot of things about this. But remember, the FBI simulated the attack there January 30th, 41 days before the attack. And they said the shooter was a 41-year-old. And there's been a lot of other important stories attached to that. But it's just a reminder that this 41 number is not an arbitrary number. It's also the 13th prime number. Like USA equals 41, the land of 13 stripes, 13 colonies, 13 years of slave school programming that turns people into idiots. And also consider that the phrase King of the Jews is often associated with Jesus, whose real name is Yeshua. Yeshua 79, like the year the book came out. Society of Jesus 79. And Notice also where, you take these tabloid articles about, Trump being the Jewish Messiah. He could be the one. Just notice how Yeshua and Trump overlap. And of course, Trump shares a lot more qualities with Satan than anybody else. The father of lies. All that comes out of his mouth are lies, lies, lies. And don't forget what the first tenet of Satanism is in the religion Satanism is to worship yourself, which is pretty much what Trump always does. But yeah, again, all these people that are just under total mind control. They believe in the bullshit religions of the world. They believe in the bullshit media of the world, the bullshit political parties. And all these things are related. They're so convinced that people like Trump are on their side. And no, they're chosen characters meant to do exactly what they're doing. Lead everyone astray, lead us down this path of purposeful destruction. Again, you think about all the things that are really ailing society, none of them need to be. They're happening because there's a group of people that look at humanity as cattle and they want to control them and use them and abuse them and exploit them. And they get their little puppets like Trump to come in there and talk them into making poor decisions and going along with bad plans. I mean, look at all the idiots for Trump that were like, yeah, his tariffs are a good idea. It's like, no, you're a moron. You're a moron. Tariffs are taxes. All they're going to do is make things even more expensive. How can you be talking about lowering costs? I mean, Trump's like, oh, that old senile moron that has eggs costing $1,000 a carton right now. I'm going to come in and solve all that in day one. And then his first thing is tariffs. And don't forget, the tariffs was just, if you guys don't know, everything Trump's been doing is a 47 joke. Just like the Iranian Revolution was 47 years ago. Again, the Panama Canal, he wants it back 47 years after we gave it away. Tariffs equals 47. He implements the first batch of tariffs exactly 47 weeks after the anniversary of the publishing of Wealth of Nations by the father of economics, who said tariffs are not good. Again, all this stuff is mockery. He wants Greenland 47 years after we gave it away. Other things I'm forgetting, just nonstop 47 rituals with the chump. And yeah, it's just all part of the joke. I mean, every single thing they do is mockery, everything. But yeah, I mean, this is just par for the course right here. That this book was out there on New Year's Day, 1979. Lockwood book about Trump. What is that one called right now? Yeah, the Baron Trump novels. Yeah, from the late 1800s. Trump the time traveler. Another good one is was it called Lockdown? Is that what it was called? The Western that came out when Trump was 12 years old about a con man named Trump who wanted to build a wall. Con man Trump building a wall in Texas, Western TV show. What was that one called again? Trackdown. That's what it was called. Isn't it? I mean, God, it's just so annoying that this is the country we live in. Trackdown, the end of the world. Yeah, it came out in 1958, like Trump announced from the 58-story Trump Tower for the 58th election. Trackdown. If you don't know about these ones, look into it. The con man Trump selling people snake oil and trying to get them to build a wall. And then Trump, who kept giving his poem over and over about, you knew I was a snake, but you let me in. And these morons, it's just amazing these morons don't catch on. It's pathetic. It is pathetic. The director of that episode, Don McDougal, his full name, Donald McDougal, 138, like Donald Trump. Now we got this guy with the predictive programming dead on the 138th day of the year. And don't forget who 138 is special to. It's the Jesuits. Their birthday, August 15th, is the day leaving 138 days left in the year. Let me see here. Walter Trump, the line from the show, I am the only one. Trust me, I can build a wall around your homes that nothing can penetrate. Remember Jesse Ventura, the wrestler? They had him get out there years ago with his show Conspiracy Theory, and he dropped a line in there. He says, when they start building the walls in this country, that's not to keep anyone out, that's to keep you in. This was a follow. That episode is set in Talpa, Texas, 119, like how they called the election for Trump on November 9th, the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Anyway. Trackdown, another 134 thing, like Make America Great Again. There's a lot of 134s with Trump. House of Cards was the hit show when he ran the first time. That episode, look, he was just a little kid, you guys. He wasn't even quite 12 years old. The episode came out 37 days before his 12th birthday, and 37 is the 12th prime number. Oh, man. And remember, that's not the original family name either. The original family name is Drumpf. They changed it to Trump. And I guarantee it was all part of the planned joke that, you know, this guy would be reinstalled as president age 78 when there's 78 tarot cards in the deck and the top cards are the Trump cards. Yeah. Yeah. And all this information's out there, and still the majority of the public, they think either it's all a coincidence or it doesn't matter. Or they're like my sister. They're like, my sister will just say things like, well, that's on the internet. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, you can look into things on the internet and find out if they're actually true or not. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's on the internet that's not true. But you can look into things and find out that they are true. All right, we got a DK Stonewood sighting. What's up, DK?
Hold on, let me stop the video. I'm a couple minutes behind listening at 2 speed. Did I interrupt you? I don't know where you're at.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I got 4 things. I got to say the numbers so I don't forget while I'm talking. Did you see the story about the Masonic Lodge they busted in Paris?
I did. I also saw the video clip of the judge doing the hand signal.
Okay. 22 people.
Yeah. Master builder number, number's a letter and number of letters in the Hebrew alphabet.
Did you see the biggest story from the Artemis 2 thing?
Are you talking about the toilet? The toilet?
Yeah. Oh God.
Somebody left a comment on that, and I think they got it right. They said, it's on 4/4, the anniversary of MLK's assassination in Memphis, where Elvis, the other king, died on the toilet. So I think that's about right.
Yeah, I mean, the toilet's broken because so much bullshit, right? It's full. It can't even be flushed.
Yeah, exactly. So much shit in there. Exactly. It's something else.
One other thing is, since I just heard right before I called right now, I was like, I'm gonna call before because I see it's live. I'm like, he's gonna shut this down in a sec. You were talking about the book about Trump, the time traveler, and all that stuff, and you're always mentioning like Father Donnelly and Father Amiad and like Adolfo Nicholas and Sosa and these guys. But I think the most pertinent one, I'm not sure if I've ever even heard you mention it, pertinent to your work, is Father Ernetti. You ever heard of him?
Who's Ernetti? Tell me about it.
Pellegrino Ernetti.
Okay.
He's the guy who they credit, which I doubt, just like they credited Trump's uncle with taking all the stuff from Tesla. Like he just did that all by himself. And Tesla was like, the quintessential genius. And this guy was able to, you know what I mean? Obviously they had a whole crew come in there and do everything and just put him as the mascot of it. Just like they had a whole crew rob you. And then your dorky neighbor whose IQ is probably 75 as the mascot of it. You know what I mean? But he's the one that they credited with developing the Chronovisor. And this is how they're supposedly, forecasting the future so perfectly every time.
Interesting. Okay.
Maybe look into him.
Notice he died at 68, and his Chronovisor supposedly was able to go back in time and see the crucifixion of Jesus. I see the joke with this already. Look at this, you guys. Crucifix. If I can spell it right. Yeah, yesterday, April 3rd, is the day that science says is the crucifixion of Jesus, the 93rd day of the year. Crucifix 93 and 48. 93 is the 68th composite number. Notice he died at 68 on, where did he just go? On April 8th. And then there's also this about crucifixion. Is it the word crucifixion itself? Yeah, crucifixion is 68. And someday Kanye is going to get it because that's his birthday, and they've connected him to Jesus in a million different ways, including his latest album, Bully. But yeah.
You see the picture he took of Jesus?
The picture he took of Jesus?
Yeah, he took a picture of what the Chronovisor showed. And then that was like the whole big debacle about, wait a minute, it's not some white dude. Look at the picture of Jesus from the Chronovisor. Like they went back in time and looked at the crucifixion and he took a picture of it. And, you know, whether you want to think it's real or not, whatever, but look at the picture.
Okay, this must be it. This is what comes up. Okay.
Some Arab dude, right?
It's hard to say exactly, but yeah, probably.
You're right. I mean, it's either Arab or what else we're thinking, right?
Okay.
So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, maybe some of his stuff is pertinent. I don't know if you've ever looked into him before.
No, I didn't know about this story, actually.
And then, like, back in 2012, 2013, way before I found you.
By the way, he was born on the day, leaving 79 days left in the year for just another one of those 79s. He died 177 days after his birthday, like the Jesuit order equals 177. Go ahead.
Also, what I forgot to say, it was 56 years. I was like, no way, it's 56 years and 322 days since the Apollo, since the one in 69, but it's 56 years and like 200 and some days. I'm surprised you didn't say anything about that first one where they allegedly walked on the moon.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like 56 and something. I was like, is that pertinent? What else was I going to say? There was one other thing. See, I already forgot.
This year will be the 57th anniversary, and moon equals 57.
But it isn't yet.
Yeah,
it isn't yet.
July 20th, right? It's coming up.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, is that even pertinent? God, there was one other thing now. I just can't think of it. Didn't write anything down. Oh, well, that's all right. It had something to do with this stupid moon thing. I just can't. It was some other connection. I just can't think of it right now. I had some hilarious stuff on my Facebook page. Someone made like a Titanic instead of like Leo and whatever the chick's name is. It's Trump and Netanyahu. It's just hilarious. What else?
Since you're into fitness, somebody's in my chat asking me about Jeff Nippert. Do you have anything to say about Jeff Nippert?
Yeah, he's pretty lame. I mean, he's like not really in that great of shape anyway. More like looks like a power lifter, but he's trying to give people advice on like more like a bodybuilding look. I mean, in general, you know, there's and I think he's also, you know, he's been pushed by the algorithms artificially and all that.
Exactly.
Stuff.
You saw how his fiance died last month by the numbers, right?
Yeah, it was just. I mean, I don't believe these people are really dead. And was she another one with one of these Gabby Petito names? I can't remember. What was what was it? Aiden Ross, his sister, was dead by the same pattern, and then days later, Jeff Nippert, his fiance, announced dead by literally the exact same pattern. And then you have all these mental midgets being like, dude, these videos are so disrespectful. No, they're not. These people have been made millionaires by the algorithm and having their stuff pushed. Yeah. Jeff Nippert has a $4 million gym in his house. That's pretty expensive gym there, and that's thanks to being pushed by the algorithm. We've seen these people, minor
D-rated stars get offed and sacrificed by the code who got a lot less than $4 million. It's just sad that people are so moronic and they think these things are total coincidences. And just as lame as the person, like, why would they do that to Jeff Nippard? That's what these people do. If you make millions of dollars off their game, they will come and claim lives. I mean, am I not here just day in and day out showing you that? I mean, it's just undeniable evidence day after day. I know the retards don't think it's undeniable evidence, but it's pretty undeniable. Do I need to pull back up the Jeff Nippard post here and the Aiden Ross post? Go ahead, CT, or go ahead, DK.
Yeah, and like, you know, and that's why you're always complaining, like, why are these people with like marginal IQs and like they're not even like charismatic or interesting? They got these like huge followings, and that's all like obviously being pushed by the algorithms. And regular public, like, you wouldn't see a bunch of people around these like, oh, this is like, you know, these are the most interesting, coolest guys or whatever. Not at all. It's just that's why they control the internet, because they're pushing all these you-know-who's. And no matter what, whether it's like a bodybuilding channel, like you said, or putting on makeup or whatever, they're at their channels are the ones that are at the top of everything. And it'll be just somebody who's like, you know, not even barely above average. You know what I mean? And being pushed like,
right.
You know,
and you can tell they're full of shit because they're just always making new content. Jeff Nippard last summer was telling people they should do full body workout every single day. How's that even a good idea? Talk about I mean, your body needs to recover. You can't work the same damn muscle group every day. So,
you aware of Mike Menser?
Mike Menser's the old school. Yeah. Mike Menser's
was the guy from the Arnold era that was very famous for pushing this crazy workout. He'd do like one set per week for body part or whatever, and him and his brother always worked out in a closed gym where nobody saw him. So he was completely full of shit, like trying to sell books for this stuff. Obviously he looked amazing, but then when he was like preparing for a show and like working out where he's working out just like everybody else, you know, massive volume, like you need a lot of sets and a lot of reps. And like, just, you know, to tell people in general what's really going on, there's two types of muscle growth. It's myofibrillar and sarcoplasmic. Myofibrillar is the actual muscle fibers, and there's two proteins that I can't remember the name of that are associated with that. That's the actual fibers growing, like getting bigger, and that is associated with super heavy weights, putting extraordinary amounts of mechanical tension on the thing. But obviously that can't be sustained. It's for very short periods. So it's like guys that are doing, you know, 4 or 5 reps, 6 reps with massive weights or whatever. Then you have the other type of muscle growth, which is sarcoplasmic, which is the space in between the muscle fibers where the glycogen is stored. And that's associated with bodybuilding and a big pumped, inflated look. The other one, you're not going to look you'll look more flat. I mean, you may be even strong still, and even maybe stronger, but you know, you're not going to look it. And as far as advising people on how much to work out, like I was doing, you know, for the last probably at least 5 years, I'm kind of like on a push-pull legs. Mine was more like pull-push legs, because I didn't like doing legs after back, because some of the stuff starts yanking on your lower back. So I figured like, and then I would rest like a day and then do it again. So basically you're doing everything 2 times a week. And then recently after not being in the gym for like 11 months, I went back to the bro split from like the, you know, golden era workout, which is 1 body part a day. But, you know, for like legs or chest or back, those groups, you're doing like 20, 25 sets. And all the upper body stuff, you do like 8 to 12 reps, you know, maybe even a couple more. And then like for shoulders, you do maybe like 15 to 20 sets. And for like arms, you do like maybe 12, like bis and tris. And on legs, you got to do 20 to 25 reps on all the stuff, and all the upper bodies 10 to 12. And just, you know, so you're working out 5 days a week or 6 days a week there if you do like legs with arms or something like that. So I've been doing that now for like the past like 6 weeks, and right away growing, you know, I'm like, this is what I used to do when I was in my 20s. You know, let's go back to that, because there's a lot of guys that are like, listen, all this new age shit about working stuff twice a week, 3 times a week. He's like, look at the guys that had the best bodies. It was the golden era bodybuilders, and they were on way smaller amounts of steroids than all these guys are now. Everybody now looks all blocky and fat. And those guys, nobody wants to have a body like these guys now. But if you look at those guys back then, a lot of people would want to have a body like that with the skinny waist and all that. So, you know, a lot of the stuff that these guys are, like you said, they got to make new content all the time. I just basically told you everything you need to know right there in like 2 minutes. What am I going to do? Repeat that same shit every single day? Nobody's going to be listening. So they just are always coming up with new nonsense that is just, you know, it's just, you go to the proven stuff and that's it. You know, that you got to do everything properly with the proper form and all that. But as far as all this advising people to, your muscle can recover in 48 to 72 hours. True. But
here's the reality. The majority of content creators, all they are doing is just bullshitting their audience every single day. Again,
it's a filibuster.
Yeah, it's just, and that's, if you watch, like, their stuff contradicts and doesn't make sense. Again, all of a sudden he comes up with this new idea, full body workout every single day. No, that's a horrible idea. Anybody who's ever exercised knows that that's going to be a total burnout and you're going to injure yourself.
Yeah.
Again, but the thing is, you start looking for fitness information, YouTube sends you right to Jeff Nippard. And even if you don't click on his video, the next video probably coming up is his. And that's how he's become a multimillionaire, because they're directing all the traffic to him. And then his retard followers, they come across a video like mine and they're like, what are you talking about, bruh? Well, here's what I'm talking about, you fucking morons. His fiance died at 36 on 3/6. And not just that, she died 151 days after Jeff Nippard's birthday, the 36th prime. And this was just a couple days after Aiden Ross's sister was announced dead at 36. And it was the same pattern almost. Aiden Ross equals 36. His sister's name, Madeline, 36. They saved the news for the day of the full moon. And it was that blood moon, too, on March 3rd that they saved the news for. And hold on, because it was the 151 in here as well. Well, let me go down to how they did it with... I know. She died on January 15th. But they waited to tell you until March 3rd, but 15/1, like 151, the 36 prime. And I just can't imagine being such a mental midget to come across information like this and then to immediately go, no, this is all bullshit. Where have they put out a cause of death for their Jeff Nippard's fiance yet? I know they haven't. There's still no cause of death for why she just dropped dead out of nowhere. I mean, these people are, that's why the cabal gets away with everything they do, because just the average person is a fucking retard. So, anyway,
I'm gonna send you an email real quick. No subject, fine. Talking about the censorship, I just recently had a post that it had 30K views. The amount of fake J trolls that came to me, I mean, it was just like a waterfall, you know, all of a sudden when you start getting views on something, you know, and then since then, I mean, I can't even break 100, you know what I mean? Since the last like week or two. I just sent you an email of something, since this was kind of, I think it was in the news, and then people were just like talking about it, kind of went like on Instagram and TikTok about some of this stuff they said we got from NASA. Did you even talk about it? How like they said like Velcro and like all these different things that like we're using today in the regular, like in the public domain, that came from NASA. Did you discuss that?
Well, the other day when I was on CTE's channel, they were talking about the great things that NASA gave us, such as memory foam and Velcro, and I said, "Oh yeah, that's definitely worth the $70 million per day budget."
You need space to make that, of course, right? You wouldn't. There's no chance you could have discovered that down here, where you could actually, it would mean something and be useful. But the reality of it is, we didn't gain any of that from that. What we gained in 1947, when they shot down a couple craft using a microwave weapon they stole from Nikola Tesla, some technology from reverse engineering that ended up hitting the public domain. Of course, nothing that would help us, but like Velcro, shielding for wiring, aluminum foil, laser light, memory foam did not come from that, but the technology to make styrofoam and certain things like that to improve it did come from that. Microchips, certain things. So like if you look at the first brand of aluminum foil, because it used to be tin foil before that, and when you bent it, like folded it, it would crack on the sides. That you're too young, you probably never even seen that. Being from Croatia, like, you know, when I was a little kid, they still had some of that stuff around. But in 1947 is when it transferred from tin foil to aluminum foil, and the first brand was Reynolds Wrap. And did you pull up that email I just sent you?
Hold on.
Look at what it says on the box of Reynolds Wrap. It says trusted since 1947, and there's literally a picture of a flying saucer right on the freaking box, you know?
Yeah, tinfoil conspiracy, 1947, the UFO things, huh?
So look at the Reynolds Wrap. Look at the Reynolds Wrap box. There's literally, like, they had 5 packs before we were born. And it had the whole flying saucer on the 5-pack. It wasn't like each box did not have the same drawing. You know what I mean? Like now, if you get like a 3-pack, it'll be the same drawing on each one. So like it doesn't like go. It's not like making all 3 like the landscape for it. You know, it's. I mean, another one like hidden in plain sight. You know, just.
It is something else. It is something else. Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I can remember. I think I got the few things that I wanted.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
Okay. Talk soon, Zach.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
See. This thing about a draft on the second day of Saturnalia. Shout out to all the people sending a tip tonight. Of course, we crushed it in the world of sports. And for all the hating trolls, we didn't have a great March Madness tournament, but we didn't have a losing tournament either. I mean, we cooked the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8, and we knew to hedge our bets. We knew Michigan. We ranked Michigan as the 3rd most likely team to be in the championship a long time ago. They did have a good narrative to be there. It's crazy, though. All year they had Duke and Arizona move together with these rituals that were so coordinated. I'm convinced that because there's so much gambling now and so much money on things that they got plan A, they got plan B, they got plan C. I do think we were right at the beginning of the year. I do think plan A for this year's championship was Duke and Arizona. I think they swapped it out because of how much public money was on it. But yeah, Michigan absolutely made a lot of sense to be there. They did a championship ritual with a Michigan and Duke game earlier this year when they had the top 4 seeds play each other for the first time. Or for the 5th time in history, the top 4 seeds playing each other. Duke beat Michigan in a total championship ritual. But yeah, you see how the championship date can be written 6-4, 4-6. We knew Michigan could be there, and Michigan's in the final 4-on-4-4. So, and today and on Patreon, I mean, we smashed all the sports, and we saw that it made sense for either UConn to face Arizona or UConn to face Michigan. And by the way, here I'll show you. Shout out to Atanchi. Atanchi had the good call in with why it could be Utah, Michigan. Check this out, you guys. Watch how perfect this is. Michigan, I'm going to show you their head-to-head with UConn. And then I'm going to show you something really interesting, and it should remind you of the other year when they beat the team from the 206 in the football championship. Do you see how Michigan versus Connecticut? Do you see how they've allowed 206 points versus Michigan? Look at this. Hurley today, the coach of UConn, improved to 20-5 in the tournament. He's 20-5. Again, Connecticut has allowed 206 points versus Michigan, right? And remember the other year when Michigan beat Seattle or University of Washington in Seattle, the 206 area code, the University of Michigan was 206 years old. Michigan Wolverines 206, March Madness 206. So shout out to Itachi. He called that in today. And he said, man, if they meet, there could be another 206 ritual on the horizon. So, yeah, we were well aware of that and made extra sense since there was – and here's what they did with UConn and look at this. UConn, Arizona box score. Look at this. You see how the score was 71-67, 138 points? This game was 138 days before the championship game. And, of course, Arizona won it with the symbolic 71, the March Madness number. And UConn today advanced to the championship, scoring 71. So that's what I mean. It's just, it didn't used to be this way. They used to do rituals and it was really clear what the championships are. But I think it's because they have a few different plans based on how much public money's out there now. With there being so much more gambling in society. And that's why we got to hedge our bets along the way. Last week we hedged with UConn because we knew they had a real narrative to beat Duke. And today we saw Michigan had a real narrative to beat Arizona. And we also crushed the rest of the world of sports. So hate all you want, haters. But the reality is there's a lot of people who made a fortune today off the knowledge. Anyway, we got Sway, we got Kyra, we got D26, and we got Daniel. We'll go in the order they came in. What's up, Sway? Sway, hello?
Yo, what's going on? Can you hear me?
There we go. What's up?
Is my mic good? Got like shitty.
You're good.
Bet. Shit, I just come on. You're the GOAT. You're the GOAT, bro. Just wanted to come on, chop it up. Kind of looking ahead to tomorrow. Something that's very interesting caught my eye. The Diamondbacks can record their 2001st loss all time since 9/11. Of course, the Diamondbacks are the team who played directly after the
Scott Brosius made the air. Diamondbacks beat the Yankees in the World Series.
Yeah, and so I was looking at this game today, right? Of course, they played the Braves on MLK's
they became
death day.
4-2 at home.
On MLK's death day versus the Atlanta, Georgia team.
That's true too, Martin. But Arizona 42, Diamondbacks 42. You're right, Martin 42. D-backs get to 4-2 at home, and I don't know if the starting pitcher got the decision, but I know that 22 was on the board in the Diamondbacks' favor.
Yeah. So, I also been meaning.
What did you say? What did you say the Diamondbacks can do tomorrow?
They can do. Hold on, let me swipe out.
Oh, you said from September 11th is what you said. That's why.
Yeah, but if I swipe out and it accidentally takes me off.
Hold on. I'll just pull it up here. I should have figured out. Or hold on. What am I doing? D-backs record since September 11th.
I think it may be versus National League. Don't quote. No. Yeah, that's not right.
Maybe it's including the playoffs.
Yeah, including playoffs, maybe. Yeah, there it is.
They can get their 2001st loss. Okay.
Yeah. And so they play going into New York the next day after. And so this was my thinking on this series, right? And we've been killing it on Twitter. I've been meaning to come up the past couple of weeks. The other night, whenever you had the King James going into the 1611 Robert Parrish ritual, I tweeted it out. I mean, that tweet went seriously viral, but I added you like in the tweet. I said credits to Zachary K. Hubbard.
I don't really go on there anymore. Ever since they deleted my main account, I might go on there once every 4 months. So.
No, yeah, but I've been sending a lot of people over, and I even did like some live streams on the NFL with a lot of viewers, and was watching one of your videos on the Charlie Kirk. We called Christian Kirk in a huge ritual with the touchdown. He was like plus 800. He got his 33rd all time playing in Arizona, of course. Big ritual surrounding Kirk there, but just tomorrow in the look ahead spot. So yeah, this series with the Diamondbacks, I'm thinking they're either going to enter with that 2001 and then beat New York in the first game. So I'm going to wait tomorrow on tomorrow's game. I should have seen the MLK thing off tops for today for the Braves, but I didn't catch it until the Diamondbacks were up like 2-1 in the fifth, and I didn't really want to touch it.
You must not be on our Patreon. Yeah, we covered this today.
Yeah, no. I haven't been in your Patreon for a while now. I probably need to jump back in there, but
Indeed.
But besides that, I was looking at this Nationals game tomorrow, right? And this is, of course, the first Sunday since the new papacy has started. Pope Leo is, of course, the first national American pope. They can get their 32nd win all time versus LA at home. Of course, the Jesuit sun rays 32 pointed on the 95th day of the year when the Jesuits were formed in the, through the 95 Theses. The Nationals look really good. They can also get their 14th win all time since the Pope was elected on a Sunday. Of course, it's Pope Leo the 14th, getting their 9th win, like Sun equals 9. Nationals do look really good. But, yeah, I just wanted to come on and touch on a few things, man. If there's anything else you want to talk about, or I have also some other details.
I gotta let the other people get in here, and I gotta wrap it up because I got to get up early again. So anyway, I appreciate it, man.
All right, boss.
All right, thanks. Yeah, if you guys want to come on and talk sports on my public stream, but you're not on my Patreon, I gotta let you know that irritates me a little bit. Support the work, and you would have won your bet today too. That's why you want to be in our community. Again, we post winning days practically every single day. What's up, Kira Thompson?
Hey, how you doing, Zach?
Yeah, what's up?
Man, I followed your stuff, and I was looking at the information that you had on your bracket with Duke.
Oh, it's Chris from Vegas. Is that your wife's name?
Yeah, that's my wife's name. And
anyway, we don't want to talk to that guy. Go park some cars. What's up, D26?
Hello.
Yeah, what's up?
I found it. I think I probably missed it on the previous stream. I mean, I did not mention about the chapters in the book.
They say it again, D26.
Do you know how many chapters are in the book?
I didn't look at that. No. What is it?
So, I think I will be buying the PDF or ebook on Amazon. I think you can do a sample. You can read the sample. Yeah, on the screen over there, below the preview of the front cover. There's a icon called as read sample on the left. Yeah. So there are 11 chapters, and the first chapter is called as the Golden Age.
Yeah. God, what a joke, man. By the way, March Madness was so easy last year. Todd Golden won it on 4-7. And just, again, gold's the 79th element on the periodic table. Gold goes to the moon while Trump's 79. Silver, the 47th element, soars. What a joke. What a joke.
And also the fifth chapter is called the 5-day strike. Didn't he pause those strikes for a few days? Was it at 5 days recently, Trump?
I'd have to look into that. I don't know. That's interesting.
There was a tweet regarding that. So because now it is causing issues around the world. From here, I can say in Mumbai, the price for gas or LPG has increased, and there's a shortage of liquid purified gas, or basically consumer gas for domestic purposes. So it has struck households, it has struck hotels, restaurants. So there's a crisis going on, or maybe it is orchestrated in a way to create havoc or civil unrest. And also the book, if you look into the book, it is I.C. Trumpelman is based on a real life figure. His name was Chaim Rumkowski, if I'm pronouncing it right, guy from Poland. And he was born on the 58th day of the year. The book, it does not mention, but it is said, as it is stated, that it is based in Lord's Ghetto, and Lord's Ghetto equals 58. So does the name Chaim Rumkowski, the person or the figure based on who I.C. Trumpelman is created. And Chaim Rumkowski equals 87. Just like Leslie Epstein dying at the age of 87.
Perfect.
And let me check if I do. Oh yeah, also on the preview, if you go back to the preview page on the Amazon website.
I will. I want to write something down that I forgot to write down earlier.
Yeah, no worries. And it mentions 25 years later in a very subtle way. The year 2025 is, I would say, incorporated in a very subtle way.
Let me see. Where did that preview go? I got too many windows open.
It is on Amazon website.
Where did it go? How did the Amazon website did I close it by accident?
Yeah, I guess probably closed.
Here we go. Okay, go back to the preview.
And if you go back to the very first page of the book, on the right side you will see, it's slightly jumbled up. So the actual word would be on the left side that he was to. Let me read it from my page.
I do see the 25 years later part, that he was to wear
it's
20 and 25 years later.
25 years later. Yes, that's the one. So I like how they have incorporated the year 2025 in a very subtle and a sneaky way.
Yeah.
And they also added American into that, like an American spectacles with round lenses and black frame.
How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel that we're growing up in a world that was planned out for us so long ago?
I would have planned it better.
Yeah, truly. Isn't it disappointing?
Oh, always, like every single day.
It makes me so mad. It makes me so mad, really, as somebody who worked really hard as a young person and didn't realize how rigged the world was. And you got all these teachers telling you it's not like this, and if you work hard, you could be the president of the United States. No, you can't. They got it all planned out. They got it all planned out for your. We need to revolt so bad. It's disgusting. And what makes me even more mad is how dumb the fellow people are and how they get behind people like Trump, and they really like Trump, and they put their bumper stickers on their car and their flags, and they're so passionate about it. It's like, God, these people are pathetic. Pathetic. And then you show them what's going on and they want to kill you. What? You conspiracy theorists? God, we live in a world full of dummies. It is just something else. Anyway, go ahead, D26.
Yeah, to add on to your rant, I always enjoy your rants about how dumb the society is. Just to add on to that, if you go back to the Leslie Epstein Wikipedia page, he had a thesis, and the name of that is called "The Speech of the Dumb Animals." Play in 3 acts. I'm not kidding. You can just
wait. This is in this book.
So no, it's on this Wikipedia page.
Oh, hold on. I got to get this. The Speech of the Dumb Animals.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, yeah. Right, thesis. The Speech of the Dumb Animals. Wow. From 1963. Okay, the year of the JFK assassination. Huh. It's when I first started this research in 2013, everything kept pointing back to, just a small group of these Ivy League schools, especially Yale. And that was my original thought. I was like, they are out of these universities, they are planning this world. It is quite obvious that they are. Go ahead.
To add on to, I think King Richard mentioned on the chat that the conscription in the United States is happening on 18th of December 2026. Did you see that?
Say it again.
Was it the conscription in the United States for the draft, or draft is on 18th of December this year?
Well, King Richard just posted that. I didn't hear about that. So let's look that up. U.S. draft.
I did find it on the Wikipedia page. On the
December 18th. You know that they've raised the draft age that becomes effective on Hitler's birthday to 42, like we went into World War II in the U.S. in 42.
April 20?
This is the U.S. selective service system. So you're supposed to, when you turn 18 in the U.S., do it manually, but it says it's going to start automatically. So that's not the draft, but they do use the selective service for the draft.
Do you remember what I mentioned yesterday? I mean, last night for me, I would say, was about 2 movies releasing on 18th of December, Avengers Doomsday and Dune Part 3. Both of them have about conflict or More, if I go slightly more deeper, I would say even the Doomsday is a multiversal war from different universes. So to watch that movie, you literally have to watch all of the Marvel content for the last 30 years. It's a compilation of all the 30 years into one movie. And um, Dune Part 3 is about a holy war instigated or pushed by a figure that is prophesized, who, with the help of the prophecy, becomes an evil messianic figure, Paul Atreides, played by Timothy Chalamet. So, two major movies, blockbuster movies, coming like, expected later this year. And they are changing the, was it called the Service Act?
Selective
Secret
service,
Selective Service. Okay.
another SS thing like the Nazis. But yeah, that's going to be exactly 42 weeks from the day that we attacked Iran. So how perfect.
And I am sensing a sense of. I'm sensing this is the start of the next civil war. Because
Well,
I'm
the
seeing people are not interested. I hope like not. I'm sorry. I'm not saying most of Americans, but at least in general, even if people don't know about our work about this, but people in general do not support um, U.S. meddling in other countries. So anyway, there's going to be a revolt or resistance, but I don't know how much of that is going to be organic or is it going to be orchestrated, and that will just push the society into another civil war.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But this is I strongly feel that this is just the seeds are sown for the next civil war, which will definitely be synced with the worsening economic conditions everywhere in the world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And let me just go through if there's anything else I've missed. Oh, probably. So I'm not sure. I somewhere I found it. It was some other website about the book. There was a co-author. His name was William Stead, and that name equals 47 of the
Yeah,
same book.
perfect. 47 years later.
And oh yeah, the golden age that equals 58. Just like you have mentioned, so many numbers with 58 with Trump's first presidential election.
And the second one, he got 58% of the electoral college.
Oh, I missed that. I didn't know that.
All the nonstop, everything with Epstein's 58. All Epstein files. Epstein dying 58 days after Trump's birthday. Nonstop, just same numbers over and over. Yeah.
Funny with the organic side, I was born on the date number 58. My roll number was 58 when I was in architecture college, and also other things. But yeah. If I do find it, I probably missed something else. I don't remember. The guy also studied in Boston. I did some decode about Boston, but I forgot that he did study in Yale. Yeah. So if you decode the entire name of that school, it is the School of Drama at Yale University, named after a certain guy named David Geffen. That equals 56. But the full name of that department or the drama school, that equals 202. Just like Skull and Bones equals 202.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I do find anything else about this, I will probably add it. I'll send an email to you.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Thanks
Yeah,
for having
I'd
me.
like to read this
And,
book too. I wonder what other gems are in here.
well, I can help you. Let me get on a call with you about later, and I'll explain to you how you can fasten up your research with AI. I will explain you certain tools, and trust me, you're gonna be like, if it's taking you 2 hours, we can cut that down to 15 to 20 minutes. But
All
are you
right.
paying for any AI services? Are you using any AI tools so far?
Well, I started using it for my thumbnails. Since I did that, we've had quite a few people stop watching the channel. They thought it was bad I was using the AI. I get where they're coming from, but what I do like about the thumbnails is it can communicate the idea of what the video is about. So can't please
Yeah,
everyone.
there's no issue with that. But oh yeah, just give me 30 seconds or something. I did some research recently, and can I just share a screen for like 2 minutes?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Hopefully, I'm not revealing my name.
1919 would have also been 106 years before 2025. 106 is a big number with a lot of the Israel rituals over the years, like how that headline from the New York Times about the New World Order being pledged to them is from October 6, 106. I know this author name equals 106. Leslie Epstein. Or it's his full name, Leslie Donald Epstein. 106.
Oh, can you read that?
Go ahead. What did you say?
Can you see my screen?
Oh, let me put it back up there. My fault.
Oh, okay.
All right, hold on. I got to remove mine. Okay.
So this is what I said this to Gemini, and it's interesting how you can make parallels to what is happening in the current time about the false messiah. Again, this is like very similar to the false messiah, or is it moral to save 10 lives? Is it moral to sacrifice 90 lives for 10 young people? So something like that. Like, would you rather save 10 young people and let 90 old and sick, like, get rid of them, something like that? That's what the core of the book or essence of the book is. And you can also see that the Trumpleman becomes a polarizing figure who view himself as a savior, which is again very, very likely the present time. And again, this is what the example that I was referring to. And deportation is also mentioned. And the guy also has a messiah complex. So this is very, very much this is the guy I was mentioning about, Chaim Rimkowski, the real life
The
head of
87 guy.
Nazi. Yeah, the 87 guy who born on the 50th day of the year. His name equals 87. Leslie Epstein dies at 8, and Lord's ghetto equals 58. Oh, I think it also equals 138. I guess. My bad. Yeah, well, my Lord's ghetto equals 138. It's like Epstein, Leslie Epstein dying on the 138th day of the year, like Donald Trump. Oh yeah, Rimkowski he was famous for his speech called as "Give Me Your Children."
Okay, for the troll in the chat, you're obviously not on the Patreon, or you wouldn't be writing what you're writing. Adios, and then of course the flat Earth comment. Again,
yeah,
that could
was
be the
mostly-
problem. I mean, if you're a flat earther, you're probably not a very smart person. That could explain how you're not winning with winning knowledge. But adios, troll. Anyway,
But yeah, that was just it. I just wanted to show you like certain things about what the book mentions about, and I will be probably, if I do get time, which is very unlikely, I want to go through the PDF of the book so I can find any new or something new parallels to what is happening currently. But yeah, this is something to look into.
all right. I'll look more into it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and hope it is not too late for you over there.
Well, I'll be
having
going
my
here pretty soon. I
lunch over
appreciate
here.
it. You have a good one, D26.
You too. Have a good
All right,
night.
take care. All right, we got Daniel G. What's up, Daniel G?
It's Zachary Hubbard. What's up, my man?
How you doing?
Good. How are you, bro?
Doing well, thank you.
Man, I've been Sam Tripoli, episode 182, where you drop bombs on bombs on bombs, my friend.
Yeah. Sam had us on one more time and never again, unfortunately, but I'm glad he gave us the opportunity.
Yeah, I remember the second one was the whole 201 episode, event 201, and then like the rappers with the 77, the Saturn shit, all that. But man, yeah, I definitely gotta give you your flowers that Sam Tripoli episode because I don't know if we're supposed to say the old school that in 2012, the school, the one.
Of course, the old Sandy one.
Yeah, the one on the beach, we'll call it
Remember this
that.
year on the anniversary of that they had to show us a shooting on a sandy beach this past year.
Oh, Bondi, and then Pam
Right.
Bondi, and then the
Right.
folders. Yeah, it's all a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely got to give you your flowers because you put me on the Gematria, and dude, I was watching a bunch of bullshit videos, 811, because remember 811 was basically, remember his teacher Bob and all that shit, when Jeffrey Epstein, quote unquote, killed himself, which is all a bunch of bullshit because they want us to focus on, oh, he didn't kill himself, when it's like, and then it's like, all they talk about is like 14-year-olds and shit. They're not talking about like, George H.W. Bush, like sacrificing a child, I know we're on YouTube, so I'll try to be chill, but the dark, and then they say like only 1% of the emails. So it's like, that's some wild shit, man. But yeah, I definitely had to give you your flowers. Been a long time listener, take a little break here and there because, what is this? The fucking 20,000th channel?
yeah, something about like that.
Yeah, it's hard, man. I'll look up GematriaEffectNews, and then it'll be number 18 or 19, and I gotta subscribe. But yeah. So what you said? You said you didn't want to talk sports on this one. Was that what it was, or something like that?
Well, I can, but when people want to call in about sports stuff and they're not on my Patreon, I get discouraged about that. I'm thinking, why are you not supporting the work? I mean,
Yeah, I'm on the page. I think the $10 or the $11 tier, whichever one, where you get Monday through Friday. Which is the Monday through Friday? $11, right?
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, what's the beef with Chris from Vegas? What's up with him?
Oh, he just turned into a troll. He's always been weird because it's just like even tonight he's got like my phone on auto dial. He'll call him. He'll send like 100 texts. I don't even know how he sends so many texts as fast as he does. But I've given the guy so many chances. He's a weirdo and he's a backstabber. Yeah, I mean if you ever hear him, he kisses my ass when he calls into my show. But then if he goes anywhere else, he'll be talking all kinds of shit. I can't stand people like that. So.
Yeah, he has some really good picks though, man. I mean, it's worth checking out.
But
yeah. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, bro, he killed it today. I mean, he went 4-0 on college basketball, and like, and I'm not trying to sit here and glaze him, huh?
Was there 4 games today?
Yeah, there's 4 games. He hit Michigan. He hit the other 3. There's definitely 3. There's 4 games. Yeah.
I only knew there was 2 games today.
No, there's 4 games. Really? I could have swore on my life there's 4 games.
Okay. I don't
Am I tripping? Am I tripping? I know it's not sports talk right now. Hey, it's not sports talk right now. Like I said, I definitely want to give you your flowers, and I just wanted to know what was up with Chris, because he does
a little two-faced weasel. So And I mean, it's just, sometimes it's embarrassing too. It's just like calling in all football season, fading the winning picks and trying to get everybody off the winning picks. He did that for a whole season on 35 Thursday. If you remember the game where Dick Butkus died before the game, our community, made a lot of money that night. Had they listened to Chris, they would have lost all of it. Chris was a 1,000,000% incorrect, nowhere near the truth. So anyway.
Yeah, my daughter turns 3 tomorrow on Easter. 4. So yeah, speaking of Gematria, since we're on the Gematria, she was born 4-5-2-3. So I thought that was pretty cool, since I followed the word. But yeah, I was just curious, man. I mean, he does good work. I mean, I'm on your page, I'm on his page, and he'll like his NBA picks. He'll go like 7-1. Sometimes he'll go like 8-0 and shit. Like he does good work, man. I think he definitely deserves some respect. Like you said, you guys got a weird past or whatever. So
Yeah,
that's
he went
between
about
you guys, man.
0-16 in the NFL season trying to call in fade every good pick that year. And again, he doesn't teach anybody any knowledge. He doesn't teach anything. He'll throw you out his picks, and he likes to pick teams that are 20-point favorites. We know how Chris rolls. So he's good. He's good at calling the 20-point favorite. All right, Whitey Ford, appreciate it, man. Hey, Whitey Ford looks like he might be part of that troll network. So we're gonna say goodbye to Whitey Ford. Yeah, no, Chris from Vegas is not a good person. And I should pull up his recording from the night that Dick Butkus died. It was just the most obvious thing ever. I mean, the Chicago Bears win and loss record as a franchise was Richard Butkus and Dick Butkus, the gematria, both of those things. Chris called in and goes, no, that's not going to happen. The Bears are going to get buried tonight. They're probably going to lose by 30 points. I don't like any of your player props tonight. We had everything dead on. We had who was going to score 2 touchdowns, why Fields was going to throw 4 passing touchdowns. All those things happen for monster payouts. Chris from Vegas, always been super suspect, hangs around the community, but doesn't know one single gematria decode. Ask him what the gematria of Chicago is. He couldn't tell you, not to save his life, even though we've repeated 1,000 times it equals 46, like they won their only Super Bowl with 46 points with the revolutionary 4-6 defense. So no, we're not giving any shout outs to the valet driver. Again, just the guy doesn't make any sense. He calls up and tells me, Zach, man, you've helped me get my Patreon up to over 10,000 a month, but I really want to quit my day job at the valet. So can you promote me some more? It's like, well, dude, if you're making 10,000 a month off your Patreon now, you shouldn't have to keep parking people's cars. No, the guy's never made any sense. So anyway, it did look like they do look like they're relatives, don't they? They do. And it's sneaky, just like Chris from Vegas. And listen to what he just said. Chris went 4-0 in college basketball today. There weren't even 4 games. I mean, that's what we're talking about. Chris probably went 0 for 2 today. So I'll tell you who did kill it today. Yours truly. We killed it across all the sports. NBA, NHL, and again, the March Madness wasn't bad either. So anyway, yeah, and the thing is, Chris doesn't teach any knowledge. He just gives you his picks. He just says, here, these are my teams. And if you run his college football picks, he's picking all the 20-point favorites all season. 20-point favorites from Chris from Vegas. So yeah. Chris from Vegas on his million alternate accounts too. Yeah, be wary of guys like Chris from Vegas. All right. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I might do a stream going over the comments from the Jeff Nippard community one of these nights on the post about the death of his fiance out of nowhere at 36 on 3/6, 151 days after his birthday, the 36 prime. Because it's a reminder of what the United States of America is, a nation of really dumb people that think they're smart. And it's a dangerous combination when dumb people think they're smart. It's why this nation is the way it is. So, all right, we'll leave it there for now. We'll be back to tomorrow, I'm sure. So if you do want to get the winning intel and learn how to actually decode sports with real knowledge that's applicable to things that go beyond sports like the market, our Patreon is the spot to be. So we'll leave it there for now. And until next time.